Vandeham Shri Guru Shiyata Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Sya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sagana Lalita Shivishakam Vidam Sya Om Jnana Timarandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gurva Bhistam Sapurakam Gurganara Sisha Sambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samasta Veda Nipanam Shri Rupa Patanugam Govindabidam Ujwalam Bharatanum Bhaktyan Vidam Sundaram Vande Vishwa Guruncha Divyad Bhagavat Prem Nawe Bijapradam Devam Divyatanum Suchandavaranam Balarka Chelanchitam Sandrananda Puram Sadekavaranam Vairagya Vidyamburim Sri Siddhanta Nidim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Baram Banditam Shubharam Marekasharanam Nyashishwara Sridharam Vanshakapatarubhyascha Kripasindhu Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavenibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahabharanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratavishe Nama. So we're hearing from the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami with translation and commentary by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. This door? Oh. Okay. So with verse number 52. This is Madhya-lila, chapter 11, the Beda Kirtan pastimes. Teho premadina tomar prema gadatar avasya korivena kripa tomar upar. As soon as the Bhattacharya saw the king's firm determination, he declared, the Supreme Lord is approached only by pure love. Your love for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very, very deep. Therefore, without a doubt, he will be merciful upon you. So, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, the king Maharaj Prataparudra is very sad because Mahaprabhu refused to give him darshan because Mahaprabhu said, I'm a virakta sannyasi. Sannyasis don't meet with women or with kings, not even in their dreams. So he is indicating that the king, because king may be the head of the country, but he's also a rich man who has facilities for any kind of enjoyment. So Mahaprabhu is also the consideration that if a sannyasi meets with a king, people will think he's trying to curry favors from him. So, as soon as the Bhattacharya saw the king's firm determination, he declared, the Supreme Lord is approached only by pure love. Your love for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very, very deep. Therefore, without a doubt, he will be merciful upon you. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is giving the king encouragement that because of his determination, Mahaprabhu will accept him and will meet with him, and then he also Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya devises a plan. So, such determination as the first qualification is confirmed by Rupa Goswami in the Upadeshamrita, Utsahanischaya Daryat. One must first have firm determination, firm faith. When one engages in devotional service, one must maintain this firm determination. Then Krishna will be pleased with his service. A spiritual master can show the path of devotional service. If the disciple follows the principles rigidly and undeviatingly, he will certainly receive the mercy of Krishna. This is confirmed by the Shastras. Tatapi kohiyami ek upai kora prabhu Dekibe Jahai. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya then suggested, there is one means by which you can directly see him. Rathayatra Dine Prabhu, Sab Bhaktaloya, Ratha Age Nritya Koribena Premavishta Hoya. On the day of the Rathayatra car festival, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will dance before the deity in great ecstatic love. Premaveshe Pushpodhyane Koribena Pravesh Sekale Ekale Tumi Chade Rajabesh. On that Rathayatra festival day, after dancing before the Lord, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will enter the Gundicha garden. At that time, you should go there without your royal dress. Krishna Rasa Panchadhyana Korite Patan Ekale Jai Mahaprabhu Darive Charan. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu enters the Gundicha garden, you should also go there and read the five chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam about Lord Krishna's dancing with the gopis. In this way, you can catch hold of the Lord's lotus feet. Maya Jnana Nahi Se Kalik Krishna Nama Shuni Alingana Koribena Tomai Vaishnava Jani. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be in a mood of ecstatic love without external consciousness. At that time, as you recite those chapters from Srimad Bhagavatam, he will embrace you, knowing you to be a pure Vaishnava. A Vaishnava is always ready to help another Vaishnava progress towards realization of the absolute truth. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya could understand the king's position as a pure Vaishnava. The king was always thinking of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the Bhattacharya wanted to help him approach the Lord. A Vaishnava is always compassionate, especially when he sees a prospective devotee very determined, Drita Vrata. Consequently, the Bhattacharya was ready to help the king. So this is the plan he made. After the Rathayatra, when Mahaprabhu goes into the Gundicha garden to rest, he will be very exhausted, fatigued, and you go there without your royal dress, and you read to him from the 5 chapters of the Srimad Bhagavatam dealing with the Rasa-lila. Ramananda Raya Aji Tomar Prema Gun. Ramananda Raya Aji Tomar Prema Gun. Prabhu Age Kohite Prabhu Fire Gelaman. The Lord has already changed his mind due to Ramananda Raya's description of your pure love for him. At first, the Lord did not want to see the king, but due to the Bhattacharya's and Ramananda Roy's earnest endeavors, the Lord's mind was changed. Well, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, when he suggested that Mahaprabhu give darshan to the king, Sarvabhauma was very blunt. He just said, there's a king who's a great devotee, wants to meet with you, and then immediately Mahaprabhu covered his ears. But Ramananda Roy is a minister, and he's, the idea is that Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is more the Brahmin, straight, and Ramananda Roy is a minister, so he's very expert in diplomacy, and he doesn't say that you should meet with the king. He just says, oh, the king is such a great devotee. When I suggested to him that he allow me to go give up my work for him and just be your constant your constant servant, the king immediately accepted. In fact, he was very ecstatic just hearing your name, and he immediately gave me a pension without any reduction. He said, yes, go serve Mahaprabhu, and he gave me a full pension without any reduction. And just hearing your name, he was showing all ecstatic symptoms. So naturally, when Mahaprabhu heard about that, then Mahaprabhu's heart softened. Well, Mahaprabhu's heart is always soft, but he was showing the attitude of a virakta sannyasi. But when when Ramananda Raya described the king and how much he helped him, then Mahaprabhu was very, became very favorable to the king. And Ramananda Raya didn't say you should meet with him. He just described how much love the king had for Mahaprabhu. The Lord already declared that Krishna would be merciful upon the king due to the king's service to the devotees. This is the process by which one can advance in Krishna consciousness. First, there must be the devotee's mercy. Then Krishna's mercy will descend. Yasya prasada bhagavat prasado yasya prasada nagati katopi. Our first duty, therefore, is to satisfy the spiritual master who can arrange for the Lord's mercy. A common man must first begin to serve the spiritual master or the devotee. Then, through the mercy of the devotee, the Lord will be satisfied. Unless one receives the dust of a devotee's lotus feet on one's head, there is no possibility of advancement. This is also confirmed by a statement of Prahlad Maharaj in Srimad Bhagavatam. Naisham matis tavad urukramangrim sprishati anarta pagamo yad artaha mahiyasam pararajo bhishekam niskinchananam cha navranita yavat. Unless one approaches a pure devotee, one cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Maharaj Prataparudra worshipped both Ramananda Raya and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Thus, he touched the lotus feet of pure devotees and was able to thereby approach Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Shuni Gajapatir Mani Sukopachila Prabhure Milite E Mantrana Drita Koila. Maharaj Prataparudra took the Bhattacharya's advice and firmly decided to follow his instructions. Thus he felt transcendental happiness. Snanajatra Kabehabe Puchila Bhattire Bhattakohe Tindin Achaye Yatrare. When the king asked the Bhattacharya when the bathing ceremony, Snanyatra, of Lord Jagannath would take place, the Bhattacharya replied that there were only 3 days left before the ceremony. Rajare Prabodhya Bhatta Gela Nijaloy Snanayatra Dine Prabhur Ananda Ridoy. After thus encouraging the king, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya returned home. On the day of Lord Jagannath's bathing ceremony, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very happy at heart. Snanayatra Deki Prabhur Hoila Borasuk Ishvarer Anabhasare Paila Boraduk. Upon seeing the bathing ceremony of Lord Jagannath, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very happy. But when Lord Jagannath retired after the ceremony, Lord Chaitanya became very unhappy because he could not see him. After the bathing ceremony of Sri Jagannath, which takes place just a fortnight before the Rathayatra ceremony, Lord Jagannath is, as Srila Govindamar says, nourished. What that means is here mentioned, the body of Lord Jagannath is repainted, and this takes just about a fortnight to complete. This period is called Anavasara. There are many who visit the temple to see Lord Jagannath regularly every day. For them, his retirement after the bathing ceremony is unbearable. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt Lord Jagannath's absence from the temple very much. So he was very happy when, during the Snanyatra, when the Jagannath deity is actually taken outside the temple and bathed. But then after that, it is said, Lord Jagannath caught some cold or became ill during the bathing, so now he's in retirement till he becomes better. Then, like a day or so before the Rathayatra, then Then Lord Jagannath has a special darshan for all the devotees, and then Rathayatra takes place. But during the time when Lord Jagannath is no longer can be seen for about a fortnight, then Mahaprabhu was overwhelmed with separation. Gopi bhave virahe prabhu vyakalahaya allalanate gela prabhu sabare chariya. Due to separation from Lord Jagannath, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt the same great anxiety the gopis feel in separation from Krishna. In this condition, he gave up all association and went to Allalanat. Allalanat is a little distance from, close, but some distance from Jagannath Puri. And I believe there's the temple of the sun god in Allalanat. Pache Prabhur Nikanta Aila Bhaktagan Goda Hoite Bhakta Aishe Koila Nibidan. The devotees who had followed the Lord came into his presence and requested him to return to Puri. They submitted that the devotees from Bengal were coming to Purushottama Kshetra. So Mahaprabhu was retired to the Allalanat temple, but then the devotees said, well, please come back to Puri. This was after a little while. Please come back to Puri because the devotees who come every year, they're arriving now from Bengal. So they want Mahaprabhu to come back and receive them, greet them. Sarvabhauma Nila Chali Aila Prabhu Loya, Prabhu Aila Rajatai Kohilena Gia. In this way, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya brought Lord Chaitanya back to Jagannath Puri, then went to King Prataparudra and informed him of the Lord's arrival. Henakali Aila Tata Gopinath Acharya Rajake Ashirbad Kori Kohe Shuna Bhattacharya. At this time, Gopinath Acharya came there while Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was with King Prataparudra. Being a Brahmin, he offered his benediction to the king and addressed Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya as follows. So Gopinath Acharya, he's the brother-in-law of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, because Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is married to Gopinath Acharya's sister, I believe. Goda, and he knows all the devotees from Bengal, so he goes there and he asked, he approaches Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and the king. Goda hoite Vaishnava asit techana duishat Mahaprabhur Bhaktasab Mahabhagavat. About 200 devotees are coming from Bengal. All of them are greatly advanced. All of them are Mahabhagavats, and specifically devoted to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Narendre asiya sabe hoila vidyaman tasabare chahibasa prasada samadan. So he says 200 devotees have come from Bengal, but he says, but I believe this refers to the more advanced devotees. He says all of them are Mahabhagavats, 200 of the most advanced devotees. Then there will be, of course, many thousands, even millions of persons who come to the Rathayatra. Narendra siya sabe hoila vidyaman tasabare chahibasa prasada samadan. All of them have already arrived on the bank of Lake Narendra and are waiting there. I desire residential quarters and prasadam arrangements for them. I believe it's Narendra Sarovara. It's the name of the lake. So they've already arrived on the bank of Lake Narendra and are waiting there. I desire residential quarters and prasadam arrangements for them. All of them have already arrived on the bank of Lake Narendra and are waiting there. I desire residential quarters and prasadam arrangements for them. Narendra is a small lake still existing in Jagannath Puri, where the Chandanyatra festival takes place. That's the sandalwood festival, when sandalwood during the summer is smeared on Lord Jagannath. Up to the present date, all the Bengali devotees who visit the Jagannath temple first take their bath in this lake. There they wash their hands and feet before entering the temple. Raja kohe pari chake ami agyadiba basa adi je chahiye padicha sabdiba. The king replied, I shall give orders to the attendant in the temple. He will arrange for everyone's residential quarters and prasadam as you desire. Because Gopinath Acharya said, all of them have already arrived on the bank of Lake Narendra and are waiting there. I desire residential quarters and prasadam arrangements for them. The king replied, I shall give orders to the attendant in the temple. He will arrange for everyone's residential quarters and prasadam as you desire. Mahaprabhu Gana Jata Ailagoda Hoite Bhattacharya Eke Dekaha Amate Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Please show me, one after another, all of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's devotees who are coming from Bengal. So the king is asking Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, please tell me who all these devotees are. Show me who they are. Badako he atalikai kore arohan Gopinath chine sabare korabe darshan. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya requested the king, go up on the roof of the palace. Gopinath Acharya knows every one of the devotees. He will identify them for you. Amikahon nahi chini chinite manahoy Gopinath Acharya sabare korabe parichai. I do not know any of them, although I have a desire to know them. Since Gopinath Acharya knows them all, he will give you their names. Etaboletina Jan, Atalikai Chadila, Hinakale Vaishnavasab, Nikate Aila. After Sarvabhauma said this, he went up to the top of the palace with the king and Gopinath Acharya. At this time, all the Vaishnava devotees from Bengal drew closer to the palace. Damodar Swarup Govinda Duijan, Mala Prasad Loya Jai, Jahan Vaishnavagan, Swarup Damodar and Govinda taking the flower garlands, taking the malas, flower garlands, and prasadam of Lord Jagannath proceeded to where all the Vaishnavas were standing. Swarup Damodar and Govinda. Pratame Mahaprabhu Patala Duhare Rajakohe E Dui Kon Chinaha Amare. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu first sent these two persons in advance. The king inquired, who are these two? Please let me know their identities. Bhattacharya Kohe E Swarup Damodar Mahaprabhu Hoy Iho Dvitiya Kolevar. Sri Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya replied, here is Swarup Damodar, who is practically the second expansion of the body of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he's like a second expansion of Mahaprabhu. He's so intimately connected with Mahaprabhu and understanding of all Mahaprabhu's sentiments, desires, everything. Dvitiya Govinda Britya Ihando Hadiya Malapata Chena Prabhu Gaurava Korea. The second person is Govinda, Lord Chaitanya's personal servant. The Lord has sent garlands and remnants of Lord Jagannath's food with these two persons simply to honor the devotees from Bengal. So the second person is Mahaprabhu's personal servant, Govinda. And he was sent by Ishwara Puri, Mahaprabhu's spiritual master, to serve Mahaprabhu. Adomala Advaitere Swarup Paraila Pache Govinda Dvitiya Mala Anetare Dila. At the beginning, Swarup Damodar came forward and garlanded Sri Advaita Acharya. Govinda next came and offered a second garland to Advaita Acharya. Tabe Govinda Dandavat Koila Acharjare Tarinahi Chine Acharya Puchile Damodare. When Govinda offered his obeisances by falling down flat before Advaita Acharya, Advaita Acharya asked Swarup Damodar about his identity. He did not know Govinda at that time. Damodar kohe ihara Govindanam Ishwara Purir Sevak Ate Gunavan. Swarup Damodar informed him, Govinda is the servant of Ishwara Puri. He is very highly qualified. Prabhura Seva Korite Puri Agyadila Ateva Prabhu Ihake Nigate Rakila. Ishwara Puri ordered Govinda to serve Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Thus the Lord keeps him by his side. Raja Kohe Jare Mala Dila Duijan Ascharya Tejo Bora Mahanta Kahakonjan. The king inquired, to whom did Swarup Damodar and Govinda offer 2 garlands? His bodily effulgence is so great that he must be a very great devotee. Please let me know who he is. Acharya Kohe Iharanama Advaita Acharya Mahaprabhu Manyapatras Sarva Shirodarya. Gopinath Acharya replied, his name is Advaita Acharya. He is honored even by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he is therefore the topmost devotee. Srivas Pandita Iho Pandita Vakreshwar Vidyanidhi Acharya Iho Pandita Gadadhar. Here are Srivas Pandit, Vakeshwara Pandit, Vidyanidhi Acharya, and Gadadhar Pandit. Acharya Ratna Iho Pandita Purandar, Gangadas Pandit Iho Pandita Shankar. Here are Acharya Ratna, Purandar Pandit, Gangadas Pandit, and Shankar Pandit. So these are all there's so many devotees who are coming from Bengal, because Mahaprabhu has told the devotees from Bengal, you should come every year and stay in Puri with me for 4 months. So you come for the Rathayatra festival, and then if you can, stay in Puri. E Murari Gupta Iho Pandita Narayana Haridas Thakur Iho Bhuvana Pavan, because that's also the time of Chaturmasya. So normally you'd stay in one place. Here are Murari Gupta, Pandita Narayan, and Haridas Thakur, the deliverer of the whole universe. E Harivata, E Sri Nishingananda, E Vasudeva Datta, E Shivananda. Here is Haribhata, and there is Nishingananda. Here are Vasudeva Datta and Shivananda Sen. So he's Gopinath Acharya is identifying all the devotees by name. Govinda Madhava Ghosh, E Basu Ghosh, Teen Vaira, Kirtane Prabhu, Payana Santosh. Here also are Govinda Ghosh, Madhava Ghosh, and Vasudeva Ghosh. They are 3 brothers, and their Sankirtan, congregational chanting, pleases the Lord very much. Govinda Ghosh belonged to the Kayastha dynasty of the Uttara Radiya section, and he was known as Ghosh Thakur. Even to the present day, there is a place named Agradvip near Katwa where a fair takes place and is named after Ghosh Thakur. As far as Vasudeva Ghosh is considered, he composed many nice songs about Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and these are all authorized Vaishnava songs, like the songs of Narottam Das Thakur, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Lochan Das Thakur, Govinda Das Thakur, and other great Vaishnavas. Raghava Pandit Iho Acharya Nandan Sriman Pandit A Srikanta Narayan. Here is Raghava Pandit, here is Acharya Nandan, there is Sriman Pandit, and here are Srikanta and Narayan. Narottam Das Thakur, honoring the personal associates of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, has sung as follows. Gauranga Sangi Gane Nitya Siddha Korimane Ajai Brajendra Sutapash. One who is intelligent understands that all the personal associates and devotees of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are ever liberated. This means that because they are always engaged in the devotional service of the Lord, they do not belong to this material world. One who is engaged in the Lord's devotional service 24 hours daily and never forgets the Lord is called Nitya Siddha. Srila Rupa Goswami confirms this statement. Iha yasya harer dashe karmana manasagira nikila svapi avastasu jivan mukta sa uchate. A person acting in the service of Krishna with body, mind, intelligence, and words is a liberated person even within the material world, although he may engage in many so-called material activities. A devotee is always thinking of how better to serve Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and how to broadcast his name, fame, and qualities throughout the world. One who is Nitya Siddha has no business other than broadcasting the glories of the Lord all over the world according to his ability. Such people are already associates of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, Narottam Das Thakur says, Nitya Siddha Korimane. One should not think that because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was personally present 500 years ago, only his associates were liberated. Rather, Srila Narottam Das Thakur says that anyone is a Nitya Siddha if he acts on behalf of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by spreading the glories of the holy name of the Lord. We should respect those devotees preaching the glories of the Lord as Nitya Siddha and should not consider them conditioned. Mam chayo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityaitan brahma bhuya yakalpate. One who has transcended the material modes of nature is said to be on the Brahman platform. This is also the platform of Nitya Siddha. The Nitya Siddha not only stays on the Brahman platform, but also works on that platform. Simply by accepting the association of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Nitya Siddha, one can very easily go back home, back to Godhead. So, by accepting the associates of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Nitya Siddha, one can very easily go back home, back to Godhead. Shuklambar Deka E Sridhar Vijay Vallabhasena E Purushottama Sanjay. Gopinath Acharya continued to point out the devotees. Here is Shuklambar. See, there is Sridhar. Here is Vijay, and there is Vallabhasena. Here is Purushottama, and there is Sanjay. Kulina Grama Basi E Satyarajakan Ramananda Adi Sabe Deka Vidyaman. And here are all the residents of Kulinagram, such as Satyaraj Khan and Ramananda. Indeed, all of them are present here. Please see. Mukundadas Narahari Sri Raghunandan Kandabasi Chiranjiva Ara Sulochan. Here are Mukundadas, Narahari, Sri Raghunandana, Chiranjiva, and Sulochana, all residents of Kanda. Kateka Kohiva E Deka Jatajan Chaitanya Gana Sab Chaitanya Jivan. How many names shall I speak to you? All the devotees you see here are associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is their life and soul. Raja Kohe Deki Mora Hoila Chamatkar Vaishnavera aiche tejo deki nahi ar. The king said, upon seeing all these devotees, I am very much astonished, for I have never seen such an effulgence. Koti Surya Samasab Ujjvala Varan Kabuna Shuni E Madhura Kirtan. Indeed, their effulgence is like the brilliance of 1,000,000 suns, nor have I ever heard the Lord's names chanted so melodiously. Such are the symptoms of pure devotees when they are chanting. All the pure devotees are as bright as sunshine, and their bodily luster is very effulgent. In addition, their performance of Sankirtan is unparalleled. There are many professional chanters who can perform congregational chanting with various musical instruments in an artistic and musical way, but their chanting cannot be as attractive as a congregational chanting of pure devotees. If a devotee sticks strictly to the principles governing Vaishnava behavior, his bodily luster will naturally be attractive, and his singing and chanting of the holy names of the Lord will be effective. People who appreciate such kirtan without hesitation, people will appreciate such kirtan without hesitation. Even dramas about the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya or Sri Krishna should be played by devotees. Such dramas will immediately interest an audience and be full of potency. The students of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness should note these 2 points and try to apply these principles in their spreading of the Lord's glories. Also, those who are in the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mutt should also adopt these principles and follow them.
Maharaj, may I close?
Yes?
Shri Shri Guru Granth Maharaj.
Aiche Prema, Aiche Nritya, Aiche Haridwani, Kahan, Nahi Deki Aiche, Kahan, Nahi Shuni. I have never before seen such ecstatic love, nor heard the vibration of the holy name of the Lord chanted in such a way, nor seen such dancing during Sankirtan. Because the temple of Lord Jagannath is situated at Jagannath Puri, many devotees from all parts of the world came to perform Sankirtan in glorification of the Lord. All these devotees were certainly seen and heard by Maharaj Prataparudra, but he herein admits that the kirtan performed by the associates of the Lord was unique. Had never before heard such Sankirtan, nor seen such attractive features manifest by the devotees. The members of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness should go to India during the birthday ceremony of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Mayapur and perform Sankirtan congregationally. This will attract the attention of all the important personalities in India, just as the beauty, bodily luster, and Sankirtan performance by the associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu attracted the attention of Maharaj Prataparudra. Associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were unlimited during the Lord's presence on this planet, but anyone who is pure in life and devoted to the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is to be understood as a Nitya Siddha associate of the Lord. So, Govinda Maharaj, he also told me I want all my sannyasis to go to Gaur Purnima and be there at that time. So, I try to go there every Gaur Purnima to India in compliance of Srila Govinda Maharaj's instruction. That means I won't be here in the temple during Gaur Purnima, and of course Gaur Purnima is the biggest, that and Gurudev's Vyas Puja, they're the biggest festivals of the year, but especially Gaur Purnima, because sometimes I comment, sometimes here Gaur Purnima lasts one day, but in India it lasts a month, because people arrive for the appearance time of Nityananda Prabhu, and and they stay through, for almost a month, they stay there in Navadip or Mayapur. They stay and it's like, as it's described here, it's so much nectar because there's always kirtan and dancing and so many activities going on during Gaura Purnima. There's the parikramas. We go on parikramas. Normally it was, during the time of Govinda Maharaj, it was 4 days. This last year it was 5 days because they added a special day to go 1 day to go to the, where is it, they go to all the islands, so the temple of Lord. Rudradvip. They added an extra day to go to Rudradvip because it made, to go to Rudradvip, it is adjacent to Mayapur, but it added so much more time on the day of going to Mayapur, which is the day of Antardvip, to go to Rudradvip also, because they go to Samantadvip, and then to go to Rudradvip, the devotees would come back very late. So then Riya Maharaj, he added 1 day to go to Rudradvip. And I went with them to Rudradvip. And we went to see one, went to through Samantadvip, and the place where Mahaprabhu played, where Mahaprabhu dispersed the clouds by playing kartals and Bhattacharya kohe e madhura bachan Chaitanya Shishti Prima Sankirtan. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya replied, "This sweet transcendental sound is a special creation of the Lord known as Prema Sankirtan, congregational chanting in love of Godhead." So there's Sankirtan, but Mahaprabhu introduced Prema Sankirtan, where the devotees are chanting it with so much prema, so much love of Godhead. It's a very special. This sweet transcendental sound is a special creation of the Lord known as Prema Sankirtan, congregational chanting in love of Godhead. Avatari Chaitanya Koila Dharma Pracharan Kali Kale Dharma Krishna Nama Sankirtan. In this age of Kali, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has descended to preach the religion of Krishna consciousness. Therefore, the chanting of the holy names of Lord Krishna is the religious principle for this age. So as the Yuga Dharma is chanting of the holy names, and Mahaprabhu has come to spread Krishna consciousness and to give everyone that Yuga Dharma, the Sankirtan, chanting of the holy names. Sankirtan Yagyetare Koreyarodan Setas Sumedara Kalikat Hatajan. Anyone who worships Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by congregational chanting Sankirtan should be understood to be very intelligent. One who does not do so must be considered a victim of this age of Kali and bereft of all intelligence. Krishna Varnam Dvisha Krishnam Sangopangastra Parshadam Yagyai Sankirtana Prayar Yajanti Isumedasa. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting or Sankirtan to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the name of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. So this verse refers to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the name of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. So, says he's Akrishna. He's Krishna himself, but Krishna is dark, black. But Mahaprabhu is Akrishna. He's not black, but he's Krishna. He's golden. Rajakohe Shastra Brahmane Chaitanya Hana Krishna Tabekene Pandits Sab Tahate Vitrishna. The king said, according to evidence given in the revealed scriptures, it is concluded that Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Lord Krishna himself. Why then are learned scholars sometimes indifferent to him? Now this is a very good question. The king said, according to revealed scriptures, it is understood the Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself. Why then are learned scholars sometimes indifferent to him? Bata kohe tara kripa lesha hoy jare se tahare Krishna kore loite pare. The Bhattacharya replied, a person who has received but a small fraction of mercy from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can understand that he is Lord Krishna. No one else can. This is very nice because Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, before, when Gopinath Acharya told before that Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya that Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, but Sarvabhauma was at that time impersonalist and he did not accept it. And he said, how can you say that? How is it that you say that you know that Mahaprabhu is the Lord himself, or you say that he's the Lord himself, and I am, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is certainly a scholar, and he says, and I do not know that. And then Gopinath Acharya says, one who has received the Lord's mercy can know him. And then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, well, what is the evidence that you have received the mercy of the Lord and I haven't received it? And then Gopinath Acharya said, because I can see and I know he's the Supreme Lord and you do not. So now that Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya has been, he's been made into a pure devotee through Mahaprabhu's mercy and the mercy of the devotees. Then when the king, Maharaj Prataparudra, says, well, if the evidence in the scripture says that Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord, then why don't scholars know that? And then the Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya repeats the same thing that Gopinath Acharya told him before he got Mahaprabhu's mercy. The Bhattacharya replied, a person who has received but a small fraction of mercy from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can understand that he is Lord Krishna. No one else can. Tara kripa nahi jare pandita nahi kene dekile shuni leha tare ishwaran namane. If the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not bestowed upon a person, regardless of how learned a scholar that person may be, and regardless of his seeing or listening, he cannot accept Lord Chaitanya as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If one doesn't get the mercy of the Lord, one can be very learned, but he will not know who is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, it's getting a little late. As usual, I always start late. So, I'm going to stop here. We'll sing Hari Harai and then, because otherwise nobody will be able to function during the normal activities. We'll start too late. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Charavaya Nama Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Giridhari Gopinath Mohan Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra Ganadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath Echai Gosai Kori Chanana Bandhan Jahoite Vignana Shabishta Puran Echai Gosai Jar Mui Karadas Kasavar Padarenu Mora Panchagras Tader Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanibas Janame More Abhilas Echai Gosai Jabe Braje Koilabas Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majai Aman Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyas Harinam Sankirtana Kohe Naratamada Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyas Harinam Sankirtana Kohe Naratamada Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Gora Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Nitai Gora Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Jai Saparikara Shishi Guru Varanga Gandharvika Giridhari Ju Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Tilak Nehru Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Nirmal Acharya Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Bhattacharya Tara Sadasi Srimad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Bhattacharya Tara Sadasi Srimad Srila Bhakti Rakshayar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. Namachari Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Dasha Raghunath Sadgo Swami Prabhu Ki Jai. Premsigo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Bhagavad Ki Jai. Srila Narottam Srinivas Shamananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Srila Vishvavaranya Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Srila Bhakti Kushamashra Maharaj Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Navadip Dham Ki Jai. Shri Mayapur Ki Jai. Saparshada Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Saparshada Sriman Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Shri Koladvip Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai. Sokel Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Sevasham Ki Jai. Ganga Devi Ki Jai. Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavanam Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopi Govardhan Shyam Kunda Radha Kunda Kalindi Yamuna Jo Ki Jai. Shri Purushottam Madam Ki Jai. Baladev Subhadra Jagannath Ki Jai. Bhakti Vigna Vinashaya Shri Nrsingadev Ki Jai. Bhakta Prabhara Shri Prahlad Maharaj Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. All the assembled devotees Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.